Namor is the newcomer into the MCU. And wow, fellas, you better watch your girl, because this guy is here shirt off and ready to take him. And he's not just here as eye candy, but as the Lord of the Seas. He's insanely powerful. He's even been said to be as powerful as Thor, and when he gets into the water, to be as strong as the Hulk. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty impressive. But just how impressive is he? How does Namor truly line up in the MCU? Is he on Thor's level, Hulk's level, or maybe even Thanos' level? Yeah, he might be much more powerful than you think. In our day, well, that's what we're gonna find out. What's up, guys? I'm Daniel, and this is Danco. We do fight breakdowns every week, plus the occasional power ranking video like this one, or things like that. So if that seems interesting to you, well, sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button. If you want to, well, hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Now let's get to it.
They called him Kukulkan, the feather serpent god.
Namor, or Kukulkan, is the ruler over the underwater kingdom of Talokan. Determined to protect his people from the surface world, Namor began to feel a bit threatened when the US began searching for Vibranium under the ocean and nearly stumbled across his country. And so he approached Wakanda, the only other country with Vibranium, and proposed an alliance. The countries with Vibranium versus all the ones without, waging war on the world so that no one would ever threaten them again. Obviously, Wakanda wasn't too thrilled about this idea, and so Namor and Talokan went to war against the Black Panther and Wakanda instead. Now, Namor isn't just an underwater fish man, but he's actually a mutant on top of that. So he can breathe under the water and on land, and doesn't have to turn that weird blue color that everyone else does. On top of that, well, he can fly and zip all around with a pair of little wings on his ankles. Which, I mean, that's great and super cool that he can fly. That's definitely a plus for him that we'll talk about later. But at the same time, that's gotta be the lamest look you could possibly have when it comes to flying. It looks like you're Tinkerbell or something flying around out there. I don't even know how those little hummingbird wings are able to support a fully grown man in the first place. Now, one area where you gotta give Kukulkan props is strength. Namor is impressively strong, able to toss around Wakandan jets and spin around helicopters and just anything in the sky. He's gonna throw it around and bring it down. But it's really his striking that's the most impressive. He's able to take his Vibranium spear and pierce right through all the Wakandan ships and planes, all of which are made with Vibranium. So some Vibranium on Vibranium action. And Namor is able to break it. And if that's not evident enough, he drove his spear straight through the Black Panther suit. So again, piercing right through Vibranium. And it's not just only with the spear. Namor was able to shatter M'Baku's staff and then send him flying with a punch and bust apart his armor. Both of those things are made out of Jabari wood, which is reportedly able to go toe-to-toe with Vibranium. So remember when Thanos did this? Well, yeah, that's kind of the exact same thing that Namor is doing here too. But at the same time, is it really? Well, I mean, he is able to pierce straight through Vibranium with his spear. And no question about it, those ships are made out of Vibranium. That suit is made out of Vibranium. Namor is able to get through both of them. That's impressive. But I think it's less of a pure strength thing and more of a Vibranium can break Vibranium thing. I mean, look here. Black Panther doing literally the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And this actually makes sense of how vibranium works. See, it's not just that the metal is strong. I mean, it is stronger than steel, but what makes it so indestructible is the fact that it's completely vibration absorbent. So what that means is that anytime you try and damage vibranium, it's going to be canceled out on almost a molecular level, because the vibranium is just going to be able to absorb the kinetic energy from the blow rather than the attack breaking any molecular bonds in the vibranium. So if it's vibranium on vibranium action, well, that energy absorption and everything that makes vibranium so special is canceled out. So that's why vibranium is able to damage vibranium. We've seen this all throughout the MCU. But what about breaking apart Jabari wood? We gotta explain that one, and that one's gotta account for something, right? Well, yeah, that's insanely impressive. We even know that Jabari wood can go toe-to-toe with vibranium. But that doesn't mean that Jabari wood is vibranium. We actually don't know exactly what it is. The Jabari believe that it was a gift given to them by Hanuman, the ape god. But there's actually more to it than just that. See, other Wakandans believe that the wood was mutated and infused with vibranium when the meteor landed. That's what makes it stronger. And I think this is true and actually explains a lot. All the plants, all the trees in Jabari land are growing on vibranium deposits, which is what makes the wood so much stronger than any other metal out there. But while Jabari wood is insanely tough, it's just a byproduct of vibranium. It's not pure vibranium itself. So yeah, Namor is breaking something super strong here, but I don't think it counts the same as like breaking Captain America's shield, which is literally just pure vibranium. End of the day, I think Namor is around the same range as like Thor and Hulk. Maybe a little bit lower than both of them, but in that range. That's accurate to the comics. It's backed up by his feats. It's backed up by M'Baku of all people.
He is as strong as the Hulk.
And Ryan Coogler, the director of the movie, even said as much. But I don't think he's legit Thanos strong, even if they're both breaking Wakandan metals. Namor is also incredibly durable, as yeah, M'Baku hit him with his Jabari staff and didn't do anything. But at the end of the day, M'Baku is just like a really strong dude. That's all he is. Now there is a cool theory out there that since all the plants in Jabari land are growing on vibranium mounds, and Jabari are vegetarians, that they're actually becoming superhuman and kinda eating their own heart-shaped herbs as they eat their vegetables. Cool theory, but it still doesn't make M'Baku any stronger than super soldier levels. Definitely not like taking punches from Hulk or Thanos. So Namor is still at a bit of a disadvantage here. And then even more of a downside, Namor is a fish man. And if you dry him out and you dehydrate him, well, he's getting substantially weaker. Still able to take attacks from Black Panther, and still be clawed up by vibranium, and still able to take some pretty big explosions, and still be burned alive. But yeah, he gets a whole lot weaker the longer he's away from the water. And that doesn't really help us establish just how durable Namor is, because we've only seen him in this one movie. In the big final fight, well, he was depowered all through it. Of course, one thing it does show us, once he gets in the water again, well, he's perfectly fine. The water legit heals him in almost an instant. Like all Talakans have this healing factor, where Okoye can land killing blows, and they can pop back up a moment later. And with Namor being a super powerful mutant, it's safe to assume that his healing factor is even more impressive. But end of the day, while Namor could take a fight into the water and heal up, I'm still not super impressed by his durability just yet. I would say Hulk is still tougher. I would say Thor is still tougher. I would even say Iron Man is still tougher, at least in certain suits. He's somewhere in that Vision, Iron Man Mark 46 range, but definitely has the potential to go way up. And last but not least, well, Namor is ridiculously fast on the land, in the air, or especially in the water. Like, ridiculously fast, and easily able to dodge all sorts of energy blasts and projectiles and all sorts of things. Those little tiny wings might not look great, but turns out they do come in handy. He's able to bull rush Shuri as the Black Panther, speed blitzer even while he was seriously dehydrated. And Black Panther is definitely a bullet timer. Her brother T'Challa could cut bullets in half from just a few feet away, and Okoye can even cut bullets out of the air. And Shuri is definitely faster than Okoye. And Namor can speed blitzer. He can dodge energy projectiles and photon blast and shots from Ironheart and deflect these out of the air, and even do it with his back turned. So all that is insanely impressive. And just so we're clear, photon blasts in the MCU are insanely fast. Some people have tried to argue that they're 300 times faster than the speed of light. And that's a little ridiculous. But I've seen other people trying to argue that Captain Marvel's photon blast are actually blasts of light, and so are light speed. That's a little bit more believable. Either way, it shows that Namor is pretty freaking fast. He's also able to keep up with Wakandan jets, and Ironheart had to use her afterburners to catch him. So even just his flying around speed is impressive. I would put him somewhere in the Iron Man range. I think these two guys are roughly just as fast. But while Namor is a physical juggernaut, we can't properly rank him or really talk about him if we don't mention all his Vibranium weapons, so his spear and his water grenades. The water grenades are great for flooding an area or sending people flying backwards, but the explosion is literally just water. Now, the force of all that water might hurt normal people, and it could potentially drown people too. But against any high tier character, well, it's at best just a distraction. Captain Marvel isn't going out to a water grenade. I don't even think Captain America is going out to a water grenade. Now, the Vibranium Spear is just that, a Vibranium Spear. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty low tech, but when Namor starts spinning it around, it's actually a crazy dangerous weapon. Like we talked about earlier, because of Vibranium's unique properties, Namor can pierce through pretty much just about anything. And so that's not just limited to Black Panther or to Wakandan ships, but like he could stab right through Hulk, stab right through Thor. Namor is even theoretically strong enough to where he could pierce through Captain America's shield with his Vibranium Spear. So, where do we rank Namor? How are we going to view him going forward? Where does he fall in the MCU power hierarchy? How does he compare to everyone else we've ever power ranked? Well, in the MCU, I think he's right smack about here. Roughly just as powerful as Iron Man. Well, maybe not quite as powerful as, like, the Hulk. Still able to hold his own in a fight. But what about everyone else we've ever power ranked so far? Well, here's our list so far. Kratos is in A tier because he can kill universal level beings. Doomsday is in B tier because he's Superman's strongest villain, but will lose against true universal beings. Sauron is in B tier because he can help create the universe but operates more off of strategy rather than true raw power. And then way down in F tier, Arkham Batman. He can operate like a super soldier but still just a human. And so where's MCU Namor gonna end up? Probably E tier. He's only fought against Black Panther and broke Jabari Wood so far. And his power scaling is just way too big to put him anywhere else. I mean, we're including comic Doomsday and Kratos on this list. I don't think I can put Namor in the MCU any higher right now. But what do y'all think? Sign off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. And if you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. And I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.